Hello everyone, welcome to Stoic Wisdom today. There's a simple Stoic truth. You teach the world how to treat you by what you allow. Every time you excuse disrespect, manipulation or dishonesty, you're not being peaceful. You're quietly telling others that you don't mind being mistreated. But the Stoics were not passive. They were principled. They didn't rage or retaliate, but they set limits, silently, clearly, powerfully. Today, we'll explore 6 behaviors no Stoic should ever tolerate. Not because we're above others, but because we know the value of inner peace, and we refuse to trade it for temporary approval. These aren't just rules for dealing with others. They're boundaries that reflect how deeply you respect yourself. If someone crosses them, you don't need to argue. You simply walk away, with calm, with dignity, with clarity. Let's begin. Part 1. Disrespect, the first crack in self-worth. It often starts small, a subtle joke at your expense, being talked over in a meeting, a dismissive shrug when you share something meaningful. It doesn't always look like an attack, but it always feels like erosion. Disrespect chips away at your identity, not all at once, but slowly. And when you allow it, you silently agree with it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." You cannot control how people treat you, but you can control what you tolerate. A Stoic doesn't need revenge or loud confrontation. They respond by removing themselves, physically, emotionally, or energetically. Disrespect is a test, and your silence is not submission. It's a statement. I will not shrink just to make you comfortable. Protect your space. You don't need permission to set boundaries. You only need self-respect. When someone shows you a lack of respect, don't match their behavior. Just exit the room, mentally or literally. That's Stoic power. To stay grounded and not be shaken by small minds. Part 2. Manipulation. The silent assassin of peace. Manipulation rarely screams. It whispers. It flatters. It makes you question yourself. Manipulators twist your words. They guilt-trip you. They praise you one moment and control you the next. They don't seek truth. They seek advantage. Seneca once said, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Ask yourself, does this person bring clarity or confusion? Peace or pressure? A Stoic mind values peace too much to trade it for manipulation. You don't need to argue with them. You don't need to expose them. You simply remove their power by no longer playing their game. When someone constantly drains you, twists facts, or plays emotional games, withdraw. Don't react. Don't try to fix them. Just step back with grace. Clarity isn't always loud. Sometimes it's simply walking away. Because peace is not passive, it's a boundary. And manipulation cannot survive where there is clarity. Part 3. Chronic complaining, the emotional black hole. We've all met them. People who constantly complain but never change. Every conversation is heavy, every problem is unsolvable, every solution is dismissed. Their goal isn't growth, it's attention. It's to pull you into their world of drama and helplessness. Epictetus taught, it is impossible to learn what you think you already know. The chronic complainer believes they already know the answer, that life is unfair, nothing works, and no one helps. But here's the Stoic truth. You're not here to carry what they refuse to put down. Compassion does not mean co-suffering. You can listen, you can support, but you cannot let them sink your ship. Negativity is contagious, and if you're not careful, it becomes your lens too. So what does a Stoic do? Detach with care. Speak once, offer clarity, and then step away. Your peace is not theirs to erode. Let their storm pass without pulling you under. Your calm is your strength. Guard it. Part 4. Dishonesty. The death of inner trust. That's the real danger. Lies don't just hurt others. They corrode your trust in yourself. When you surround yourself with dishonesty, you start second-guessing your instincts. You doubt your memory. You question your own clarity. That's the real danger. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone can prove me wrong, I will gladly change, for it is truth I seek." Stoicism is built on truth. Not only truth we speak, but truth we accept. Dishonesty isn't just about deception, it's about distortion. It twists relationships, ruins decisions, and destroys peace. If someone lies repeatedly, they're not just hiding something from you, they're inviting chaos into your life. The Stoic doesn't rage, they don't beg for honesty, they simply move on. You deserve relationships built on reality, not illusion, because a lie believed for comfort is more dangerous than a hard truth faced with courage. Let truth be your compass, even when it's quiet, even when it's uncomfortable, and never tolerate someone who poisons it. Part 5. Entitlement, the unseen burden. 225 words. Entitled people walk into your life like you owe them something. Your time, your attention, your forgiveness. And when you say no, they act like you've done something wrong. Gratitude is rare for them. Demands are not. Seneca said, "He who gives quickly gives twice." But what happens when your giving is expected, not appreciated? Entitlement doesn't ask, it assumes, and over time it exhausts you. The Stoic gives freely, but never under pressure. They help with open hands, not out of guilt or fear. If someone always takes but never gives, if they act offended when you say no, that's not a relationship, it's a transaction, and one that slowly bankrupts your energy. Say no with calm, say yes with clarity, and never explain boundaries to someone who benefits from crossing them. Because peace isn't just freedom from drama, it's freedom from obligation that wasn't yours to begin with. Part 6. Disloyalty, the deepest wound to integrity. They praise you in private, but disappear in public. They're close when it's easy, gone when it's hard. That's not loyalty, that's convenience. And you don't need people who love you only when it suits them. Stoic wisdom is quiet but precise. Disloyalty isn't always betrayal. Sometimes it's just neglect. Silence when you needed support. Distance when you needed presence. Epictetus reminds us, no man is free who is not master of himself. You cannot control who stays, but you can control who gets access to your heart. When someone chooses to leave, let them. When they return with excuses, let silence answer. The Stoic doesn't seek revenge, they don't chase, they simply withdraw. Not in anger, but in alignment. You deserve loyalty that stands in storms, not love that flees at the first cloud. Hold your standards, and never explain your worth to someone who already devalued it. Conclusion. What you tolerate, you teach. The world is always watching, not your words, but your standards. Every time you tolerate disrespect, manipulation, dishonesty, you're teaching others how to treat you. Not with speeches, but with silence, with your choices, with the doors you no longer open. Stoicism isn't about arrogance. It's about alignment. It's about living in harmony with your values, even when it costs you approval. Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." So be the one who walks away from what drains you, who says no with calm, who protects peace like it's sacred because it is. You don't need to fight everything, just refuse to stay where your soul is shrinking. Set your boundaries quietly, enforce them firmly, and let the world adjust, because what you tolerate today will shape your peace tomorrow. If this message helped you realign with what matters, hit like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Stoic Wisdom today for more clarity, strength, and inner power every week. Until next time, stay grounded, stay calm, stay stoic.